Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode. I'm here today in front of the starting village, and I'm looking at our generic looking character, and I wanted to do something kind of different today. I wanted to do almost a top 10. It's not really a top 10, but it's basically some of the top reasons why I feel that this is the version that Square Enix always intended to release to the world of Dragon Quest XI. I'm fairly certain that this was their intention all along, and I'm going to talk and show you guys a couple of things, a couple of reasons why I feel that. So, I mean, for starters, if you just, look around, this is a absolutely stunning video game. It looks breathtaking. I mean, when you go over here, take a look at that. You got water, you got just incredible effects. I'll run closer to this so you get an idea of, what I'm talking about here. Look at this. Outside of the generic character, this is really a stunning looking game, especially when you're in the field with the horses and everything like that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that is a selling feature. Let's not kid ourselves. The most successful Dragon Quest game up until for many, many years was Dragon Quest VIII. Dragon Quest VIII really changed the game for the series, and then Dragon Quest IX did phenomenally well as well. And a lot of that has to do with these lovely graphics. So I think it makes a lot of sense for them to want to concentrate on one particular version, right? They really want to say okay, this what you're seeing right now is Dragon Quest XI. And I kind of get that. That makes sense to me. They want to show you something gorgeous. They want to show you something beautiful. They want to concentrate behind one game. Now, there's a few other things that were done to this game that I thought you guys would enjoy, and I think it's interesting, okay? So I'm going to do a separate video basically highlighting the top 10 differences between the PlayStation 4, this version, and the Nintendo 3DS version of the game. But today I wanted to say why I feel that this game was always meant to come here, like I said. And I started with the graphics, and I actually am going to start also with the generic looking character. I actually think this is a selling feature. Now hear me out. You might think what? What are you, crazy, Jared? Well, okay. Years ago, alright, this would have been your main character. And I keep forgetting that's one of the differences, that you can't do that in this particular version of the game. Let's go back. How can I show you guys what they look like? Here, I'll do it like this. Okay, so boom. This is your main hero. This is a really generic looking dude, right? And I've heard people complain oh, he's so generic. I think he was made generic on purpose. And if you don't know this, Toriyama-san's character designs for this particular hero look nothing like this. They didn't actually use his character design for Dragon Quest XI, marking one of the first times ever that has happened. Instead, the character looked a lot more like this. Not so much in the outfit, but with the spiky hair type of thing, like a classic Toriyama sort of design. And I think they did this on purpose, that they wanted a character that worldwide people could relate to and wouldn't look at and be like, oh, that's like Japanese anime type of thing. And that's, again, this is just my opinion, this is just my 2 cents, but I honestly think this was part of the reason why they did this. Now, that is appropriate with the 3DS version as well, but I do think it has a big part of this, and I think this is particularly why they released this here. Okay, boom, let's keep going. Alright, quality of life improvements on the PlayStation 4 version are astronomically insane. So, for years and years and years and years and years, literally forever in the series, when you use the zoom spell, and you're inside like I am right now, you will hit your head. So let's just go to, say, here. This is the Dakota region. Watch what happens when I do this in the PlayStation 4 version. It works. And I don't think this was a fluke, and I don't think this was a quality of life improvement for Japanese players. Why? Because on the 3DS version, this doesn't happen. And this is further evidence, for me anyway, that they did this on purpose. They wanted this to appeal to a wider audience, and so they said, you know what, let's just remove that restriction and just allow you to zoom anywhere you want. So a lot of North American games and European games have that, you know, quick travel option. And I really feel like that is what they were trying to go for with this particular version of the game, thinking of it as a wide release, right? Not just like a local Japanese release. Another thing is when you zoom, if you notice here, if you look here, if you take a look at the top right, you'll notice there's 1 of 4. That's the pages, so 1 of 4 pages. Well, that's really weird because on the 3DS, you don't have as many locations. Not only that, take a look at the bottom there. You notice that right here, it's like what I have it highlighted on. You'll see that you'll have icons that say basically a church, items, a bed or an inn, and blacksmithing. And if you keep going, you'll notice these icons change, right? And well, that's very, very user-friendly. Here, we can see that you even got a casino here. Like, this is all stuff that I think was designed purposely for this wider release. Now, something else very interesting. Let's say I go to this. I'm just gonna, well, no, those aren't good. Here. So, again, zooming inside, for longtime fans of the series, I actually thought it was a glitch. I actually did. I was like, oh wow, I guess they screwed up the programming. I don't know how anyone didn't notice that. But now I'm not so sure. I really think that this was designed specifically for North American, well, worldwide audience, not North American. Just that something that would appeal to the Japanese audience, the original audience, but also something that would cater to the new people around the world. Now this too is unique. This is a quality of life item that's not item, but quality of life feature that is not present in the 3DS version. And I really believe, again, that wholeheartedly that this was done for a worldwide release. And I know that they're making changes to the North American version, but I believe that at its core, this was always intended to be a worldwide release, this particular version. You see these campsites here? I'll just go to one. I'll just show you very, very quickly. So these campsites, you can actually back out of the menu, go around, talk to your party members. You can go and save. You can go here and rest. You have access to your blacksmithing little sort of like alchemy potty thing. You'll have access to an item seller that will sell unique items. And well, what is the significance of this? Well, in the zooming, right, you can actually zoom to campsites where you can't do that in the other version of the game. And if you look at all the dots on the map, those are all locations that I can go to. And I think, again, that this was done as a quick travel. And again, I mean, you could argue saying, well, yeah, but the world is bigger in this particular version. And that's true to a certain extent, but it's not as giant as some people make it out to be. Like, I've heard people saying that, like, you know, it's twice the size, 3 times the size, 1,000,000 times the size. But the truth is, the 3DS version in 3D is still very, very big, and in fact has almost the same amount of screens that these areas make up. So let me get out of here just quickly, because there is something else. Actually, no, before I get out of here. This thing right here. This is something else very, very unique to this particular version. That's a quality of life. And that is, let's say I make, what do I have? I have a lot of supplies. Well, I have a lot of these. So let's go ahead and let's just make one. I'm going to show you what happens here. And I'm purposely going to screw this up, okay? Because I'll just waste the supplies. So let's just do something ridiculous. Okay, I'm doing this on purpose. Alright. There, boom. Okay? This is going to be a total colossal failure. Now watch what happens. It's going to go like moo, 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 moo. Now you still get the item, it's just that it has no base stats, so it's going to be garbage, okay? But notice something. Interesting. Like, there's no nothing. I can just go ahead and make another item, right? Okay, fine. Perfect. I could do that in the 3DS version as well, but there's a difference here. What happens, and I'm not going to actually do this, but if I shut this off, like let's say I was making that item again and I screwed up and I went over the threshold. So I don't want some generic piece of junk. Well, I actually had one, so you're not going to see it. Oops. Oh well, now you're really not going to see it. But you're not going to... Where is it? Here, was that one, right? Yeah, this was it. Okay, look at how garbage this is. This thing is like a piece of crap. You don't want something like this. You want to have at least a +1, +2, +3 ranking. And so you can shut the game off, and in this particular version, there's no penalty for doing that. If you shut the version off, like if I save and I go here and I do something with with the blacksmithing and I screw up, there's absolutely no penalty. I can shut the game off, reload it, and I'll be good to go. And I can try again, I don't lose any resources, and I'm fine. That does not happen anywhere else. On the 3DS version, basically black smoke comes out of this thing when you do it, and you have to wait 5 minutes for a cooldown. Why would they do that? Why would they differentiate something like that? It doesn't really make any sense to me. And it goes back to this version simply feels like it was made to introduce new players to the franchise. And I really stand by that. Now, there's a couple other things that I want to show you here. I got a list. I want to make sure I highlight some stuff here. So there could be spoilers here. Well, there will be spoilers here, so I'm warning you right now. Okay, let's fight an infamous slime. Check out what happens here. Oh, it's actually going to be a king slime. Okay. What just happened? I said I was going to attack... Oh, I didn't realize I had it on auto. Sorry about that. One sec. Well, that didn't work at all, so just a... Sorry about that. I had no idea I had set this to auto. Here we go. There we go. Alright, sorry about that. Let's go here. Oh, my little cat saying hello. He's saying hello. Okay, so check this out. So your instant commands, this is basically swap a party member. This is your commands, if you want to do it automatic or not. And then just like attack. Okay, so we're going to attack. Now check this out. This is really, really important. This will be one of the top differences when I show you guys a video between this version and the other version. This game plays very much like a worldwide turn-based role-playing game. What does that mean? Well, you'll notice that Martina, that's the character that's active right now, that she is waiting for a command to be entered. So okay, I'm gonna click here. Boom. And now it's shifting to another character. But it's entirely possible that one of the enemies could have attacked first. Now, I'm way too high level for these guys, so that's never going to happen. But it is possible. And then it's cycling again to another character. This is fundamentally, I mean it, fundamentally different than the other version of the game. The other version, the 3DS version, plays exactly like the other old school Dragon Quest games where you input the commands for your entire team. So in other words, you'll say like, okay, I want to attack, and then it'll list your character 1, you input a command. Character 2, you input a command. 3, input a command, and so on and so forth. This one is entirely character-based, and that really, really changes the strategy. Because with this one, you can actually get, like, hit, right? So let's just, here. let's say I got attacked. This, like, it's never going to happen just because of the speed, so it's not really going to be a great example. But here, let's defend. So I've got her defending. He's going to come up next, of course, because of the speed, like I said, and all my party is going to go first, for sure. But like I say, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. So it's entirely possible that those enemies would have already attacked one or more of these characters. And with that happening, you have the ability to heal or to do whatever you want. It changes the dynamic of the battles. Whereas in the other version, you have to think ahead. So like you have to heal in advance if you're at like a super strong boss character or something like that. That's a really, really big difference. And it's also one why, I think that this version was always intended to be released in, like, you know, in the rest of the world, because that is very common. That's something that most people are used to. What do we got? Oh yeah, something else. Because of what I just showed you guys, so here, because of the fact that your team attacks individually, they don't attack together, what this means is that you can actually do different techniques, different in the zone techniques. So for example, like here, right? I can actually do this. Whatever. I could use Veronica's in the zone right now. I could do that right now, and then say the hero was in the zone, and like, you know, someone else attacked or whatever, then he could do an attack in the zone. You can't do that in the 3DS one because of the team-based commands. So it makes a huge difference. Now, the very final thing that I want to show you is what I consider their logic behind streamlining this game, okay? Now, you might look at this and say, what, Jared, you're out of your mind, this is foolish and whatever, but I don't think so. I really think that they were onto something here, and that they really wanted to focus behind this version of the game. So I'm going to warn you right now, this is a big spoiler for those that don't want to know anything about the game, because I'm about to show you basically the ability to fly. Okay, so now, again, a lot of you guys are going to say that this is silly. I don't think so. I think this was their way of saying, well, you know, the rest of the world is stupid with Dragon Quest. They're never going to be able to get this. So this is a way of streamlining things for them. And you're going to get what I mean in just a second. And I realize that the video is almost 20 minutes, but hey, any excuse to talk about Dragon Quest and to show you guys stuff. Okay, so I want to land. Let's go ahead and land. It's weird, eh? Well, what's going on? I want to land. Well, I want to land. Can't land. What's up? Okay, so what's up is, like, basically, see these sparkly things I just flew by? Well, if I fly into that, it'll say, do you want to land here? I'm going to say, no, I don't want to land there. Each one of those little dots that you see on the map are zones that you can go into via the sparkly little areas. And I know that this was done solely because we're idiots. And no. It was done on purpose. It was done as a means of making you not lost, really adding linearity into this game. And I'm sure this was done on purpose, because in the other version you have a shadow of the well, I call it the windfish, but you have a shadow, and you can actually fly anywhere in the world and land anywhere in the world, just like you could in all the old school Dragon Quest games. But the way I see this is that, again, they streamline that experience so that you couldn't do that, and you can only go to certain areas just to make it that much easier. And with that, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's just like my 2 cents of why those features, those really important features, are what separate this version from the 3DS version and really make it as, like, well, the logical version to get released everywhere in the world. And also keep in mind that they are improving things. As you guys know, this whole menu system is being completely changed. It's pretty much going to have this feel like you see right here, but for everything. So like when you go into items, for example, it's not going to look like this. You're not going to have something generic like this. It's all going to look like that. You're going to have this you know, nice detailed menu system. And there's a couple other quality of life improvements that they're adding, but I think the core fundamentals of this version show that they always intended to release this outside of Japan because of just how fundamentally different it plays in relation to the rest of the series. And if you know anything about Dragon Quest, it's one of those series that really thrives on staying close to its roots and playing like the really, really old games. So alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was just my little video, which wasn't so little, on why I really believe that Square Enix always intended to release Dragon Quest XI on the PlayStation 4 outside of Japan. And with that, I will say I'll catch you guys in the next video. And I'm not sure when I'm going to get a chance to do it, but I hope you look forward to the top 10 changes or differences between the PlayStation 4 version and the 3DS version. Thanks for watching, everybody. You take care.